Coming up, volunteers for one food pantry in the Big Sandy spend the day helping to give back ahead of the Christmas holiday. And some Middle East experts view a morning meeting in Egypt as progress for releasing more hostages.
Plus, we are tracking showers to return by Christmas. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
One Pike County food pantry spent the day filling trunks with groceries, hoping to provide the gift of comfort this Christmas. Thankful Hearts Food Pantry hosted its perishable foods giveaway today, serving families from surrounding communities ahead of the upcoming holiday. Pantry representatives say hundreds of families benefit from the program, and they feel blessed to be able to provide for people in need.
People that I've never met, they'll send back thank you, to us and tell us how hard that they needed that food and stuff. So as far as me, I'm blessed. My Christmas is just seeing the kids get stuff and families to be fed.
Some of the people taking advantage of the food giveaway today say they would not have a Christmas dinner if the pantry did not exist. We will have more on that coming up at 6.
Well, you cannot beat the forecast on this Wednesday for late December. We are dry, also sunny, and we have temperatures in the 50s across the mountains. Here's a live look from across the region, from Buffalo Mountain to the London Corbin Airport, also over in Rowan County at I-64. And check this out, plenty of sunshine on this Wednesday, and those temperatures also rebounding today into the upper 40s and lower 50s, up to 50 in Jackson, also Somerset, 52 for Manchester and Harlan, and 47 over in Pikeville. So as promised, we are much warmer today compared to yesterday, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer in some areas on this Wednesday. The culprit for this dry, sunny, and more mild weather, this area of high pressure that continues to sit over the region. So more dry weather is on the way by Thursday, also Friday. But as you can see, those rain chances are set to increase by this weekend, mainly on Monday. A few showers by Saturday, also on Sunday. Not going to rain 24/7, but that more widespread moisture on the way by Christmas Day for Monday. And then some more spotty rain chances for the middle of next week. Those details plus your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right. Thank you, Cameron. The leader of Hamas was in Egypt this morning for talks with that country's government. It could be a sign that a new round of hostage releases is closer. Meanwhile, the fighting goes on in southern Gaza, where Israel's defense minister says it could last for months. Rami Inocencio reports on the civilians caught in the middle.
Gut-wrenching grief in Khan Yunis after another Israeli strike. The number of Palestinians killed across Gaza neared a staggering 20,000, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, with hundreds more killed in the past few days. No one and no age is safe. The injured flooding the last functioning hospitals in the south. I lost 2 grandchildren, said Susan Zorob, one just 2 weeks old. She didn't even get her birth certificate.
The airstrike left at least...
Our CBS News producer, Marwan Al-Ghul, was at the cratered aftermath of an airstrike that killed at least 19 people.
The Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, said that the war is on Hamas, but on the ground, something else.
Glass shattered over us, said this little girl. We ran out of our home. By the rubble of another strike in the city, Walid Al-Zaiza asked, what crime have our children done to deserve to be killed? The house fell on us. What is our crime? The Israel Defense Forces say their goal is to dismantle and defeat Hamas, but say hostages are also a priority. Overnight, 2 of the 129 captives still in Gaza appeared in this new proof-of-life video from Hamas ally Palestinian Islamic Jihad. The second in 2 days, intensifying pressure on Israel to make a deal with at least 20 of those hostages already feared dead.
And Israeli media are now reporting the government has potential plans for new hostage talks. That includes the release of 30 to 40 hostages, including men, the sick, and the elderly. But a Saudi media channel now has Hamas's demands. It says it wants a complete ceasefire and a withdrawal of all Israeli forces. CBS News cannot independently verify those reports. Rami Inocencio, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Senator Mitch McConnell delivered some remarks about Ukraine and Israel while on the floor of the U.S. Senate today. McConnell said that the stakes are high for America and its allies, noting in particular the war in Ukraine, the Israel-Hamas war, and the increasing threat of China.
The challenges are real for brave American service members who are spending this time of year far from home and loved ones to keep us safe. It's a dangerous world, one that doesn't reward weakness.
Senator McConnell says America needs to show that we have not forgotten how to lead. One part of Governor Beshear's proposed budget was investing in our juvenile justice system. His plan included 2 female-only juvenile detention centers. It would also fund the renovation of the Jefferson County Youth Detention Center. Julia Sandor spoke to advocates and government officials about the importance of making changes in the system.
I just hope everybody could kind of put on their humanity cap and remember that these are children and they need services. They're not criminals.
The ACLU of Kentucky has been advocating for changes in the state's juvenile detention centers for years. But legal fellow Kevin Mensch with the ACLU says their concerns are still ongoing.
The conditions really are awful. The things that we've heard from families, from children, from people who have worked there are really just too sadistic to put into words.
At the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, Secretary Kerry Harvey says the Department of Juvenile Justice was seemingly neglected and under-resourced for several years, but their administration has recently seen improvements. He says the governor's proposed budget could be another big step forward.
So the governor's budget proposes money, about $90 million, to build 2 new strategically located detention facilities just for girls, which will allow programming directed just for girls, which of course will be different from programming for boys. And it also takes into account the challenges that local law enforcement has with transportation issues. And we will strategically locate these centers so that roughly 85% of our female population will be within 75 or 80 miles of a detention facility.
But Mensch and Harvey say they'll continue to work with the General Assembly this session. Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Beshear's proposed budget also gives $3.9 million each year to add about 450 additional placements so youth can be diverted from detention centers through programs like home detention. Coming up as First at 4 continues, officials at the IRS make an announcement about tax penalties for 2 previous years.
Plus, we are warmer on Wednesday, but we could see some 60s by Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Those details coming up.